Well, hey guys, welcome to the 2024 Rewind. What a year we've had, and we're going to welcome some of our team onto this call to go through it with me and talk about how we've done. We're also going to go through all of our features, functionality, everything we've launched this year, talk a little bit about 2025 and what we're going to do. I'm going to start introducing some of our team who are going to join me on the call today. I'm Robin, if you haven't met me before. I'm the founder of D4H. I'm very pleased to be able to host this again this year. If you're watching live, you can watch us now on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, I think on X and a couple of other places that you can tune in. Well, if you're live, you can ask us questions. I mean, this is completely live. I'm sitting in Dublin, Ireland, but we might get somebody else brought in here I can introduce now. Who's it going to be? We have a couple of people joining today. Pat. Pat, tell us where you are and what your role is.
Okay, folks, I couldn't find a kangaroo get up, so this will have to do. But I am based near Melbourne in Australia, so complete opposite end of the world. I'm the newest member on the customers team. So any folks in APAC, you'll be hearing a lot more from me, or folks in the US working late, or folks you're in Europe or Asia working early. You'll also probably be hearing more from me as well.
So full commitment by Pat on the costume. It's excellent.
It's 7:15 a.m., so it's still quite cool, but in the next 5 minutes, it will start warming up, so this will come off.
Well, thanks for joining us at 7:15 a.m. And for anyone else joining around the world, GP, you're Eastern time zone, 3:20 p.m.
Yeah, it's 20 past 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the D4H live stream. I'm GP. I'm pretty sure that I've spoken to each and every one of you on the help desk. But if I haven't, once again, thank you for tuning in. We have a packed agenda for today. Please, sit tight and enjoy the live stream.
Excellent. We're if you're watching us on the live stream, please introduce yourself. Tell us where you are. I see Steve Howie online. I see Nico now online. Fantastic. Oh, everyone's coming here. Okay. Wow. Let's keep going in the order I think people arrived in. Carl, whereabouts are you in the world?
Hi. Yeah, my name is Carl, and I'm calling in from Lyon in France. I am a software engineer, and I work mostly on operations center. I work on alerts. I work on mobile applications. I've been at D4H for a few years now, and I'm loving it. I'm great. Thank you for joining us.
Billy.
Hello, everyone. Also in the Eastern time zone from New York in the United States, along the same coast here as GP. My name is Billy. I'm the Emergency Management Solution Specialist. I'm basically one of the other sales people on the team here. So you will probably either cross my path at one point or another as we are growing very quickly.
Marie.
Hey guys, tuning in from Maine in the United States, Eastern Standard as well. I'm the implementation project manager here at D4H. I saw Steve come in. I've talked to Steve quite a few times. Great to have you join us from Texas, and we're really excited to have you guys all here today.
Alvaro.
Hi all, I'm Alvaro from Spain. I'm in Madrid, so I work for the team management platform. I build the mobile apps and the web. I'm working a lot on the new API side. I'm bringing a lot of new stuff for you.
And Mario.
Hi everyone, I'm Mario, the CTO of D4H. You probably see my face already in one of these streams. And I'm calling from Dublin, Ireland, but I'm originally from Italy. So welcome on the stream, and I'm really looking forward to discuss with you all that we've done in 2024 and what 2025 has for us. So looking forward to it.
Awesome. In the background, you can't see them, but I think we should have forced them to come online in Santa hats. Amy and Katie are pulling the levers in the background. So when you see your comments coming in off platforms, they're controlling all of that. They're putting questions to us, and they're picking who goes big or small on the camera and what's going on. So thank you very much, Katie and Amy. This is only a small part of our team. You can see how global we are. We're now across I think all 24 hours of the time zone. There is somebody at D4H switched on. As you saw there, Pat's our newest crewmate here and based in Melbourne, Australia. So pretty good coverage. 2024 for us has just been phenomenal. We've had incredible growth. I think we're clocking in nearly, and I think Mario will talk a little bit about this later, nearly half of our users again joined in 2024. It's a massive, massive growth element. A lot of people are coming on board with D4H at the moment, and we hope we're delivering for you both the product performance and the attention we can still give you. We're trying to scale up as quickly as we can. And thank you for your patience and support with us as well. We're a completely distributed company. We don't sit in an office together. We work together like this on video every day, and it's fantastic to meet our customers. I see everybody coming in from all around the world as well. We're very, very global. One of the things that we do is we get together once a year together. This year we're flying into Calgary for 2024. We're flying into Calgary in Canada, and we're going to go up into the Canadian Rockies and all get together in person. And as part of that, we're going to visit a couple of the customers in that area and try and understand how they use D4H and what they do. So being very, very pleased to do that. I can see David in from Red Deer. He'd be pretty nearby, maybe an hour and 90 minutes drive where we're going to be. So it's great to see all these faces. Across the year, we've welcomed a couple of new faces. You've met Pat. Billy, you will have met online if you've been on any of these live streams as well. We've Alessandro in Italy. Sorry, Mario, I'm jumping into your team. We've got Alejandra, if you're watching, welcome. He's starting very soon from Ireland. And there's somebody else there I've not got in 2024. Is that everybody? I think we've got everybody from 2024. So there's been a good few new faces, and we've a couple more scheduled into 2025 already. We're now number one on G2.com, Gartner.com, Research.com for emergency management software and for critical event management software. This is just due to the phenomenal job the guys are doing on keeping us easy to use. Okay. Mario, tell us a little bit about what's been going on in the product.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Robin, 2024 has been another fantastic year for the product team. Honestly, every year feels like it's the best year yet. But this year I felt like things started to go exponential, really. So both in terms of scale and impact for our user. So I just wanted to mention a few milestones, just to give an idea of the incredible progress that we've made this year. So first of all, we released a new product, Alerting, which has received a tremendous interest, a complete success. Then we launched the Team Manager API v3, the new inspection steps, and soon bulk actions. Actually, we'll talk about these later in the stream, so there is a little surprise. Then for Operations Center, we released the new status board filtering and dashboard widgets, tons of map improvements, plus some huge projects that are currently in the making. Such as the live personnel positioning and the new control room. So the new control room, we can call it actually a complete redesign of Operations Center. So it's much bigger than what it seems. So it's going to be huge for our users. And also we've seen incredible growth in the usage of our applications this year, as Robin mentioned. For example, during the US election season, we had record numbers of users connected. We never had so many users connected to our platforms at the same time. And our systems handled it super smoothly. And I'm very proud of that because the team has put a huge effort and a huge focus this year on performance and reliability, and that has paid off. And look, I only scratched the surface there. This year has also been packed with countless smaller improvements and lots of work behind the scenes on things like compliance, security, quality, operations, things that users take for granted, but really require lots of time and expertise. So really, it has been a very, very busy year for D4H and the product team. And I would like to take a moment to personally thank all our crewmates for what they've accomplished this year. So well done, everyone, and thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Phenomenal job, and well done, Mario, for leading that piece of it. Billy, you were over in Colorado earlier in the year. Tell us a little bit about what that was and what you were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, we were all introduced, we're all virtual, we're all global, but sometimes we do make in-person appearances, especially to conferences such as the International Association of Emergency Managers. I've been a member of IAEM since about 2020. Amy, our wonderful marketing manager on the back end here, her and I flew out to Colorado to just spread the good word of D4H. It was 4 days, I think. I lost track of time. 4 days of incredibly intense work of meeting everyone in terms of faces, customers, new customers, old customers. We were also giving out socks per those little Polaroids right there. We had what was called the uncomplication station. So you were able to get a pair of socks, kick your feet up, and show how uncomplicated and simple our software was. The little bulletin board on those Polaroids there, we would take photos with all of our customers, kind of a little bit of just wholesome nature and good quality culture from D4H. So hopefully we'll travel out to a few more conferences next year, depending on what's going on. But it was a really great blast, and it's always great to just run into people in person and see how our software is really impacting everyone.
Awesome. At about midday today, we've got a document that we're working from for this live stream where we've got all of our ideas together and scheduled. And by midday today, I saw Mario, the CTO, put a comment on something Alvaro had written, which, "Are you sure?" And Alvaro replied, "Yes, I like to live dangerously." Mario, Alvaro, do you want to describe what's just gone on in the background while we've been doing all these introductions?
Yeah, so I'll just open up the scene for Alvaro there. So we've been working on what I already mentioned, bulk actions. So this is in Team Manager. The feature would allow users to select multiple items in a list and then apply the same action to multiple items. So this is a very highly requested feature. Like it has been requested now for years, and so we listen to you, and finally we are very close. So I'll leave this to Alvaro. Alvaro, can you tell us a little bit more about the feature, what actions we have, and so on? And then we also can disclose that something later. And anyway, I'll leave this to you, Alvaro. Describe it a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a ride. It's been a ride because it required. We started using our API v3 for a lot of stuff, so that will allow us in the future to set granular permissions. But that's for the future. Right now, what we're getting with the bulk actions, as Mario said, is the possibility to change a lot of stuff in one go. We're adding for equipment and members. For equipment, we are adding equipment retiring, which was very much requested. You can change the weights, you can change the costs, funding sources, the status of the equipment items, all in one go, and you can see it live reload, and it works great. For members, you can change the join date and the status too. You can also retire members. So yeah, it's a lot to come. For the future, I would love to see this feature being implemented in more areas of Team Manager. We can also add more features for the existing equipment and members implementation. But of course, let's take it one step at a time.
Perfect. So I see that the news has been disclosed already. So bulk actions have been deployed as we were speaking, as we actually were starting the stream. We actually released the bulk actions for everyone. They're generally available to every user, which can now access the feature. So this is our a little, Christmas present from the D4H team. Please, if you want to just go and take a look, that just should be there, for you to try. And please, if you want, you can give us feedback straight away here in the chat, and we can discuss things with you.
Yeah, feedback is welcome.
Yeah.
I think I've never done this before, at least. I've only been here for 2 years. I hope there's a lot more to come from me, but I've never done that before.
It's amazing. And anyway, please let your feedback come. And this is only the beginning. So I just wanted to say this is only the first release of bulk actions. We just wanted to introduce the feature within 2 views, which is equipment and members. But as Alvaro mentioned, we will expand the feature. We will implement this into more views. Hopefully, one day we'll get this throughout Team Manager. As you can see, we also updated a little bit the UI of the tables, at least those that have those bulk actions. So anyway, this is only the beginning. Please let your feedback come, because really we will use it to drive for further development.
It's an awesome feature. Well done, guys. This has been massively requested. Top feature, and we know why. It makes life so much easier. And it was fun to do that live while on the live stream today. And even better, we see nothing's gone wrong at all. It works. Brilliant.
Ooh.
Well done. Let's do a little bit of a Q&A, and we'd love the Q&A to involve you guys watching on the live stream. So again, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Facebook, anywhere, you can comment live. So you can see everyone introducing themselves. Please do introduce yourselves. Please do ask us comments or answer the questions that we're going to talk through yourselves. And we're really genuinely interested to hear what you think. So my first question to the group: looking back at 2024, which feature do you believe had the most significant impact on our users, and why?
I mean, I could speak to it. I think my favorite feature, but I mean, it would be the product, would be alerting. I mean, I think that changes the game in a big way. Being able to quickly send SMS messages, sending WhatsApp messages, being able to configure templates in advance so that ease of use is there. I think that that's a huge game changer. And so I'm excited to see a lot more customers kind of taking alerting on and how easy it is to use. And that was one that was really looking forward to. So great job, product team, on that.
Yeah, great. Anyone else?
Yeah, that would be my first pick as well. It has been huge, alerting. Then I would say, since it's so fresh, it's also bulk actions. Why not mentioning it? And this, just because it was so highly requested, I think GP is going to be happy tomorrow morning receiving a lot of thank you emails. Please make sure to share them with the team. And probably a little present for you as well.
Thank you, Mario. Yeah, so bulk actions, just to touch upon that, that's one of the main requests that we get to the help desk. I know pretty much all the admins are going to be delighted with this feature, especially bulk retiring items, bulk deleting, and bulk changing the status of not only just items but also members. We also launched a cool feature back in July. This is called inspection steps. Again, this was developed by Alvaro, who was on the live stream a few minutes ago. He will, of course, have a few words with us on this. But this pretty much changed the landscape of how we introduced the inspection steps. So pretty much customers can now have multiple inspection steps when they're running an inspection, and that means it's going to give more flexibility to the user. This is not only available on the web browser, we also expanded it to the mobile application as well. If you're not seeing this feature in your account, drop a message to your account administrator or the account owner who may need to enable this feature. From our end, our engineers went back and forth multiple times, streamlining this feature to make sure that it covers plethora of use cases for our customers. Alvaro, I'm sure you have a few words to share on that.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, it was funny working on it at the same time and on the mobile app and on the web. I think it's one of the first features that we have a total feature parity. Like you can do everything you do on the web, on the mobile. And yeah, it's very interesting. I would love to add attachments per step in the future, but again, one step at a time.
Alvaro has put a lot of work into the mobile apps since it started with us, and yeah, I hope that the users are starting to see improvements there. Really, because I think mobile apps are really important, and going forward, we'll see. I will mention it also as a closing remarks. That mobile apps are one of the objectives for 2025.
I can see loads of great comments coming in. People saying they updated to alerting. It's been a great upgrade. Mario, I think you've got some news about what's coming in alerting, possibly as we start to talk about 2025. That we can reveal that's coming on new channels. Certainly, what is in there and we haven't launched yet. We just haven't announced it. Is WhatsApp is up and running. And you will see it as one of your channels, but we're still to not launch that announcement about it. Carl, did you have a couple of things?
Yeah, I would love to talk about some smaller upgrades we've been doing on the OC side. I think one feature that I am really proud of, and I'm happy to support all those teams that work within either like an enterprise environment, an ISO certified environment, or they work in some sort of certifications, that we are now locking down task lists for you if you want. So that lets you have predefined items that are under change management. That means that you can be sure that the steps that you have defined in your procedures, that they are being followed to the point, and you can update the task with assigned people and the progress, but you have locked down the steps, and you cannot accidentally change the order, you cannot accidentally change what the content of the task is. Another thing I wanted to bring up, which is sort of this neat kind of Easter egg under the radar thing, is that we launched a map search just very recently. And what we saw is that we see a lot of users adding very large map layers, which we have done a ton of performance work during this year to support better maps. But we also see that a lot of these layers that users add are kind of a just-in-case scenario. Sort of, I want to be able to know where other hospitals are in case I need it. I want to be able to know where certain facilities are in case I need it. And that just seemed like something manual work that was getting sometimes out of date. And it's better that we just provide these items for you right when you need them. And just as Robin is showing right now, you are able to search common items on the map and create markers from them, create custom map layers with not a predefined long list of items that you may not need, but write exactly the items that are in the area that are affected by whatever scenario is going on. And I think that's something that makes life a lot easier for our users.
It's awesome. Love it. What a great feature. Next up, what's the most common question or challenge that you get from potential customers on calls and demos in 2024? I think Billy's probably best pressed to do this.
Oh boy, where to start? I think the most, and I guess kind of, relates to, I saw an API question in the chat. I get a lot of question about switching over software, transferring over software information, or connecting external software. Now, of course, we make the products extremely simple by just allowing you to upload CSVs or spreadsheets. If you want to do something more complex, we do have that full open source API for both our Operations Center and our Team Manager. So you don't even have to compromise your existing operations to connect it into our system. And recently we started doing a small project where we're not necessarily helping a switch from another software, but we can provide you with extension packs and different templates and different forms to make that switch from your pre-existing software a lot simpler in D4H. So that connection is probably the most common question without a doubt that I get. Apart from that, people love the this is a total 180, but like the IAPs and like the document creation, kind of saying, oh, how can we, iterate over operational periods, or how can we export or share information? And again, it's just a simple click of sharing a PDF, email, or share by public link option in our software. I would say just sharing information and the connecting external software has been, without a doubt, the questions I will get every single demo that I have with individuals.
Yeah, awesome. I've been doing this 15 years, and if I was to break those 15 years up into 5-year gaps, the first 5 years, everything was terrorism, post 9/11 fallout of chemical response, and anthrax, rice, and white powder calls in the mail. We need an emergency plan for our town hall, for our campus, for our headquarters, whatever it was, for this terrorist threat of chemicals. The next 5 years was nearly always active shooter. And it was, we need to execute a plan when there's an active shooter. How are we going to do that? And that's what we want to solve. For the last, I'd call the last 5, but actually it's probably last 2 to 3 years. This has shifted dramatically to climate change. And now most people, I don't know about you, Billy, but I have most people saying too much or too little water. It's flooding, it's hurricane surges, it's public infrastructure suffering with that. It's all of these different pieces that are causing, and that drive and that growth that we see.
I do this fun little game. I'll add on to that because you do this fun little game on my demos. If anyone ever does a demo with me, so we have these plays, tiles, pre-plans, and I always prep a bunch of natural disaster ones like hurricane, flooding, wildfire, and I do have some non-natural ones like civil unrest or continuity. But every single call, I'm like, oh yeah, what one do you want to choose? Which one speaks to you? They're like flooding, wildfire, without a chance. So that is extremely accurate in that presentation.
Oh, for sure. Let's take some questions from the viewers, Amy, Katie, whoever's doing questions for us. Who can answer that?
They actually send me out there and I hand deliver it. So if you are in foreign country, state, it's all on D4H's bill. Don't worry, they'll send it to your door.
I'm closest. I can deliver.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll send it to Pat.
Yeah, we need to. We ordered 150 pairs. We didn't think they'd go so quick, but they were gone, I think, in 2 days or something like that. So yeah, we'll have to do more. We didn't even get pairs. Did you get a pair, Billy?
Absolutely, I got a pair.
I hope you're
I
wearing
got
them
one
right
pair.
now.
I tried to take more than one, but I know. I know. I wish. I didn't prep them for the live stream, but no, I got at least one pair. I tried to take two. My wife didn't want any, so just one pair for me.
The next question, Mario and Alvaro, I'd say this is your.
Yeah, about the API v3. API v3, it is essentially, we call it complete. So it's ready to use. However, we acknowledge that we need a couple more endpoints to reach complete feature parity with the v2. But if you want to migrate, you can start doing it immediately. And then if you find that some endpoints are missing, we'll please reach out to us at help@d4h.com, and we'll make sure to prioritize those endpoints. But literally, there are just a few. Alvaro, probably you can say a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. We're a bit short on endpoints, like just a few for reach full feature parity with API v2. We also have some functionality that was moved from a previous endpoint on v2 that's in a different one, like for example being on duty or on call. But yeah, we just released a new endpoint for that today because we had a request through the Help Scout. And yeah, we just released a new endpoint to get what team members are on call right now, which is very useful. So yeah, just reach out if there's any issue migrating to v3 or you need any kind of support. Me or probably Dan will answer you.
Yeah, custom fields is one of those endpoints as well that is in the works at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the works right now.
Okay.
Great. Well, this is Mario and Carl, maybe. Good.
Applying for alerting product to incorporate conference calling between multiple members.
So my understanding of this is the alert goes out, and one of the options is to have a conference call as part of the alert. And the phone call would say something like press 1 to join the conference call. Possibly the link in the text message opens up the conference call in a web browser. The idea being that you can conference call people together very quickly to make a few quick decisions or give a briefing about the scenario. Any thoughts on timeline?
Well, in terms of timeline, I think we discussed about 2025, right? I mean, it should be like in the 2025 roadmap. It's well, we'll prioritize it depending on user feedback and user really how many users.
Yeah.
Request.
At the moment, that's sitting at the end of the list, but the list isn't particularly long. I mean, we've a lot of stuff in the alerting underway in alerting at the moment. So there's only a couple of 2025 pieces that haven't been started yet. So I think it will happen then. Sort of what we've said for that professional plan.
Yeah, I think things are flying at the moment with alerting. So really, people can expect a lot of new features coming up in 2025, and this seems like it's definitely doable in next year.
We're getting some lovely comments coming in from people across different platforms. Thank you very much for all the nice comments. Dale, we have an internal chat going on here. If you see us all smiling and grinning at each other, I was saying I'm only interested in monthly subscription store of socks. We're so. Okay, excellent. And there's some really nice comments coming in. All right. So what's the one thing that surprises people about D4H when you're talking to them? And I suspect Marie has some good insight into this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get the pleasure of working with people after, they, basically signed on with D4H. From the sales perspective, they come over to me for implementations. Soon to be Pat, now that he's joined the team, and GP has been helping out this year as well. So thank you both for that. From an operations center standpoint, so both from an incident management and alerting, it's the high level of customability or customization that is available. And people just get so excited when you dive into kind of your configurations and making those changes, whether it be creating new templates or customizing your dashboard stats to show the green, amber, and red. People just get so excited to see that stuff come to life. And recently I saw that he was on the live. Nick from New Zealand actually compared D4H incident management to the Sims game, where he goes into D4H and like 8 hours later he doesn't know, and I thought that was a great analogy, because it's true. You dive in and the next thing you know, you spend hours, and it's a lot of fun just really seeing that stuff come to light. So that's what I hear on a constant basis when I talk to customers, which is really great to hear.
Awesome.
That's a great idea, actually, for another product.
A game.
One thing I'd like to add to what Marie is saying, which is really awesome, is whenever we hear these stories of that people had a situation that they weren't really connected to, they weren't really set up for it, and they just on the fly reconfigured D4H to work for the incident.
Yep.
Just the stories of you guys creating really simple tools for example, tracking fire, tracking flooding, making the easiest way to track the damage or where you have like the water is going down. We love hearing those stories, and it's so inspiring when you work creating a tool like this to see all these things that you all are doing.
Yeah,
it's awesome. What examples do we have of customer feedback that directly influenced some of the features we built in 2024?
I think Carl already mentioned one, which was the locking tasks, right? When importing from collections, that was a big one. Was driven really from a customer feedback. And I remember during that period there were a few more, right, Carl, that we launched in Operations Center that were directly related to some requests from customers, right?
Yeah, so one thing we created in that during that time, I think it was during the summer, we were working really close together with a customer that were working very complex with very complex task lists, and we were creating a couple of different ways of viewing tasks and listing tasks. So as I hope at least some of you viewers know, you can assign a task to a role, or you can assign a task to a person. And we have had for a long time in a system a way of filtering down just to see your tasks in particular. But what they needed, which was very interesting, was they also needed to see the task based on what's the status. I need to see a list of all the tasks that are in progress, no matter who's assigned. I need to see a list of tasks that have been completed. I need to see maybe a list of tasks based on a certain custom filter criteria that we have an internal prioritization list. And we created this set of really just working on the fly with filters and views, kind of testing your way out to a result on your live list. And sort of if you like them, you can go straight into the admin interface and just create them and save it for everyone.
Yeah, that was super powerful, allowing people to just build the views on the fly.
To me, it was the visit to Bizarre. We saw how they worked, and we were at the earliest stages of working on inspection steps back then. And then I was still mostly working on the back end of it. So the design was very much in the air. And then we saw how they had these printed paper sheets with just check boxes. They just went to the item. Each sheet had like maybe 40 different lines, and they just check. So at the moment it was very much in the air, but I think that influenced a lot because they needed to have some easy way to do that, have a lot of items in the screen at the same time. Then yeah, they save nowadays. I probably save a lot of time because they can have those checks in the app and in real time. No need to print a sheet of paper and then check it and then go back to the system and set it on there. So yeah, that's it for me.
Very cool. Anyone else got anything? I loved the New Zealand map layers we did today. Anyone watching in New Zealand who hasn't seen that announcement yet, you can now go into your operations center, admin area, and into preference settings and preferences. You can add on the base map layers for the land information New Zealand base maps, and they're all pre-built in D4H, which is really nice for folks in New Zealand. Don't get too jealous, US. We've already had the US geographical survey layers for a long time, so we do have that.
Yeah, and actually, we can introduce also the specific layers for Canada. Where we just spoke with a customer very recently that mentioned that to us, and that's probably going to be another feature that is driven by customer feedback. So you can expect those Canadian maps, Canadian specific maps to come pretty soon.
Awesome.
I think Lin's what you call them, like they were a really nice example because they really wanted us to get these maps in there. We were GP, you and I, we were directly in touch with them. They were super helpful about integrating those maps. We also were able, a little bit in cooperation with these guys, to enable a new type of map technology inside D4H, vector-based maps that are extremely high quality, some of those, and we're looking forward to, if you users are aware of good maps that should be used, let us know, because we are really eager to get these in the application.
Nice one, Carl. I'll touch upon one feature which is pretty much hidden if you are using our mobile application. So the one that is shown by Robin on your screen, you can see that you can add equipment to activities. So let's say if you're running an exercise, you can add all the equipment related to that exercise, and you can edit them. So in terms of editing them, you need to swipe to the left to see the additional features. So this is again one of the main, one of the most requested features in the mobile application, and this was developed by Alvaro, none other than Alvaro.
Yeah, very much on the mobile app. That feature, the whole feature, I think it was created last year, but yeah, having delete there was a must. The main challenge there was fitting a lot of info in the screen, so that's why we came up with the sliding. So a lot of people couldn't discover it. So what we did is that the first time that you go to the view, it will auto slide by itself and then close. So as a tip that it can be a slide, and yeah, I think it's working there.
Excellent. I see someone was talking about the colors on the option selections. I think, Carl, that was your work. Is that right?
Yeah, that was also a feature that we closely developed together with the customer. So this is expected to take a slightly bigger role further down the road. We are right now using this as a simple status field that together with the new views where you can set the new list views of tasks and status board, you can combine this with easily giving like an update on where is this item heading. Is it like green or yellow or blue or whatever codes you're having. We're looking to expand this in incidents and making it more prominent as well during 2025.
Awesome. There's a question in there from Adam Perper. I might be able to discuss. So I think this is like a combination of, we've described rostering capabilities. There's a bit of demand for that for sure, where you can preset your roles for each phase. So you would have operational periods, and for each operational period, you can set people up in each role. I think that's what Adam's describing. We weren't planning it as a sign-up tool, but if they had edit access to the board or to the period, they could certainly edit themselves. They could put their name in the box. Any other thoughts on that, or we keep going on comments because there's lots coming in here.
Well, that just on the timeline on that, like we did, that has been discussed already a few times, right, Robin? Actually, it was in this year's plan, but we decided that there were more important things to work on at the moment, and you've seen actually what these more important things were, right, including alerting and all other things. I'm guessing that this will come back for the next year's plan. I'm guessing so. We'll stay tuned for that.
Awesome. We keep going questions if we can. Amy? This is a good one. Should we save this to 2025?
We have a lot to say about this. Mario, do you want to start?
Yeah, let's start. So, I mentioned that there are some big projects in the making. One of these that we're currently working on is the live personnel positioning, which will allow you, in combination with our mobile app, the Operations Center mobile app, to send the real-time position updates back to the application. So you would be able to see in the map the position of all your personnel. And this is very useful in different phases of the incident, both at the beginning when you want to know where everyone is. So just the closest, for example, person can reach the incident, or even later during the briefing, or even during the incident. We have. Of course, we are planning to extend this to other things. So not just tracking people, but tracking other items, let's say. And I'll let Carlo continue on that, because this is something that, he has actually seen closely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. So there's for the beginning of 2025, we have a lot coming for the Operations Center mobile app. If you are a mobile app user, you can expect to be able to do a lot more during the first half of the year. And one of these things to start is starting with a simple, relatively with focus on precision and easy to use, who is where. So that's not really getting into the actual track creating yet, but it's more of a way of making the response more efficient by calling in the exact people who are aligned the best to respond. And also, of course, in combination with alerting, to see, make sure that you get the responses from the people who are best positioned to act on the incident. And then further down the road, we're looking to add something like the tracks. We're going to be able to track not just persons, like Mario said, but we're also tracking your vessels. We're tracking your canines, like you say, quite likely some sort of API. We'll see about that. Some sort of API possibility there that you could track other things.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, an API would be like the most flexible solution, right?
Yeah.
And that's probably definitely is going to be there down the line. Right?
Because we know that a lot of you have very capable devices that you're using for your K9 teams, for your vessels that you want to integrate, that you're just waiting to get that data inside D4H, and that's also something that we're really looking forward to do.
Awesome. So we've loads of these feature requests. So we're talking about here and things that we've done. Just before that next one, how should customers submit feature requests if they have them like this? What should they do? Maybe Pat, you want to try that one?
Yeah, happy to talk about
Hey,
that.
how come you're not a reindeer anymore? What happened?
The temperature is rising steadily.
Climate
here,
change.
so-
Climate change.
It is summer in Australia. Okay.
It is, yes. And I was cooking slowly as it was going on, so I chickened out. I turned on the aircon. With regards to feature requests, when I suppose the first step is during the implementation phase, you share it with the team then, which will be myself, GP, Marie, and we can share that with the development team. Otherwise, help at D4H, people send them in there. We'll always pick them up. And when submitting those requests, we would ask people to include as much detail as possible and tell us about what the root need is, not just kind of, we want this feature, we want this check button. If you can explain to us what the problem that needs solving is, and that really helps the design team design better solutions and see, sometimes it can be incorporated into different solutions once we understand the real problem. So yeah, any means necessary, really. Method necessary, or I beg pardon. What I meant to say was any medium. What was the word I was looking for? So any medium you folks can submit them to us. We were happy to accept those requests.
Yeah.
We better make sure we get everything in here. I see there's more questions. We still have some stuff to talk about for 2025. We're rapidly running out of time. Mario, do you want to kind of lead
the discussion for 2025?
Yeah, we did. We better fit that stuff in. We've had so much in 2024. We're kind of running way over time.
So, well, first of all, I expect 2025 to be another best year yet, that I mentioned. So our team is growing, which means we'll be able to achieve even more next year. And for sure, there will be a big focus on the new operations center control room, which I mentioned already at the beginning. Then, of course, there is alerting. So let's chat a little bit about alerting. We're going to see a constant stream of new features coming up, actually, for alerting. We're going to see things like push notifications, mobile push notifications, and an inbox for all your notifications. Attachments, so you will be able to attach files or specify a longer text with your alert. Send reports on better reports in general, so on who has received the alerts, where the alerts have gone, which channels, and so on. And then confidential mode, workflows were going to be huge. So yeah, I don't know if, Robin, you want to go into the details of some of those, but I've mentioned already a few of them.
Yeah, I don't even know that we need too much of the detail. If you want to see some of this stuff, book an alerting demo with me or Billy or I, and we'll step you through what those things look like for sure. And if anyone wants to get alerts before the end of the year, Billy's like sitting by his phone right now waiting for your call. We can add it on. There's a question from Ginny, hyperlinking alerts. Do you want to just, as you mentioned that, do you want to explain that, Mario, what that might be?
So yeah, so this will be part of attachments that I just mentioned. So at the beginning, we expect attachments to be files and a longer text that you can attach to the alert, which we know at the moment is limited to 120 characters, just because it has to go out on different channels, which might not support a longer text. And one of these attachments that we will support is going to be hyperlinks in alerts. Other things that will come, you will be able to attach a location. You will be able to attach items from operation center, as for example, an incident, a status board, a task, and so on. So yeah, absolutely, that will be one of the things coming.
Okay, we've only a few minutes left. Keep going through this list. Let's give some highlights.
I want to talk a little bit about the control room that Mario has been mentioning briefly. So this one is for all of you that keeps one of your OC channels open like all year round, just for managing your daily business. This is going to be a huge shift for you all. That this is the main idea here is that there is a lot of day-to-day business in any emergency response organization. You have vessels that need to be dealt with. You have, like we already discussed, you have schedules that need to be made. There's a lot of tasks and items that need to be done. So look forward to a big change in how you can work with that for the coming year.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be massive too.
Yeah, and yeah, and the size of the project is definitely huge, but I think it's gonna pay off. So another big thing that people requested is granular permissions in Team Manager. Actually, that has been announced already a few times, that the moment we shut down API v2, we will be free essentially to iterate and fully implement granular permissions. So we're at the moment we need to wait to shut down the old technology to be able to for the new technology to come in. So that's going to be another massive shift for our users, which finally will be able to set permissions more more fine-grained permissions, and create permission profiles, custom permission profiles, while now they only have built-in profiles, right? So that's going to be massive.
There's a question in from Dale around team manager and permission levels, and that might fit in here.
Yeah, the team manager account, we have the same level of setup for incident management where you have a parent account that is fed information. So we are going actually in a different direction. We are going toward exactly having more fine-grained permissions within the same team, so that you can configure it in such a way where you can compartmentalize, let's say, the different departments of your organization within the same team. It just makes things much easier to manage, and also technically it's going to be makes much more sense than just creating another entity that supervises other smaller entities. So this is actually supposed to be also much simpler, and this is in line with our efforts to make everything super simple. So yeah, you can expect there granular permissions to have to play a huge role in both team manager and incident management.
Can you talk a little bit about integration between TM and OC?
Yeah, that's another big piece that we are going to work on in 2025. We acknowledge that at the moment that there might be some duplication between team manager and operation centers, for example, managing users. So we want to centralize managing users into one consistent, unified place, let's say. So when you create a user, it actually appears on both platforms. When you modify, you change some properties, permissions, that those are propagated across both platforms. And so we will launch this new integration with the personnel. So personnel integration of personnel between team manager and the operations center. But then we will expand this into more areas, as for example, incidents, groups, and possibly even we can go further, right? We can expand it with qualifications, equipment and so on. So this just paves the way for a much tighter integration between the two products, which is again in line with our efforts to make everything simpler for our users. We really want them to have what we call a unified D4H experience, a single platform experience.
Oh, awesome. Let's wrap this up with the last piece is, are there any upcoming trends that D4H plans to integrate? I think, Carl, you had something on this.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest items that you're gonna see right away, we talked about it already, is the even bigger focus on real time. One of my absolute favorite things about Operations Center that I think makes it feel really easy to use is that whenever I update something, if you are looking at the same screen as I do, you see this change right away. There's no waiting, there's no lag. And we're taking that on even more with, like we already talked about, live locations, being able to see exactly where your team is, right where you are. And we're also adding API capabilities with real time, which is very interesting. We're going to be able to look for changes and get fed updates from the API. If you are integrating Operations Center with something, with some other type of software, instead of asking Operations Center, hey, has something changed? Hey, has something changed? You're just going to have Operations Center telling you that, like, hey, there's an update to this task. Hey, there's an update to this incident. Hey, this incident's shut down. So I think that's a big trend that we're already in, but we're looking to adopt even more.
Amazing. Now, who wrote AI at the end here? There's just one comment at the end saying AI.
I did. Well, that's like, how can you not talk about AI when we talk about trends? Definitely, that's one of the things. It's everywhere right now, right? So it makes actually a great topic of conversation, and we've talked about this a few times already internally, right? And there has been a lot of debates, people taking sides on one side. Yes, let's go all in with the AI. Other people being more careful. I'm more on the careful side, because I think we are in an industry where really, like, every decision matters and count, and having those decisions being influenced by an artificial intelligence can be dangerous. So especially if these decisions are taken in real time during incidents. But there are areas where actually AI might come very useful, as for example the analysis post incident, right? Helping you write a report, or exercising, having an AI challenging you, and running a real-time exercise. Actually, there would be an AI generating a scenario for you in D4H. And there are other areas. Again, actually, please, if anyone has any other idea of how AI can be successfully be integrated in D4H, please let us know. I just mentioned a couple of areas where I think it would be possible and safe today to implement AI.
Safety is one of the big pieces, and I think a lot of the people who've rushed into it haven't looked at the safety element. I mean, it's got to be in areas that we can be right, we can be correct.
Yeah, exactly.
I think doing a little bit more. Oh, sorry.
No, go.
I was just thinking like a little bit more of like an AI built into like searching for, if you're in a specific product, and we already have that beacon built into the product, but like if you're on a specific page, hey, do you want help adding qualifications? Here's some links, just kind of some AI generated type conversations that can help target.
Build a board. I mean, you see that in some products, and it's like describe in natural language what you're trying to achieve. And so I want a status board that tracks hotels that I need to book during an incident for my crew and passengers, and it goes and builds that board for you. I mean, that's the stuff where we can get really powerful. Build me a simulation using D4H that use it on a training exercise. I think there's some great stuff in there. really interested if people want their historic data analyzed by it. That's the next step then, is like building models with people's own data, and so it can make recommendations or training back or things like that. Awesome. But the live viewership's been really busy. We're running across 4 different platforms here, depending which one you're watching on. I'm just looking at some of the stats. It's been fantastic, massive engagement in the comments. I can't say a bigger thank you to all of the crewmates on here who've joined for it. We're definitely going to have them back. And I can see lots of lovely comments to the team in the comment box. So thank you, everyone. I might just say happy holidays from everyone at D4H. And if anyone's got any last messages before we go offline.
I just wanted to say that next year is going to be very interesting for D4H. So it's going to be interesting to follow our progress next year. So make sure to stay tuned.
For sure. Love it. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Merry Christmas to everybody. And see you all soon. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.